96.7 KCAL rocks. It is time to talk some sports with our guy, Pep. What's going on, Pep?
Hey, it's Thursday. We got some Thursday night foosball tonight. So, of course, we're going to talk about football. But first, let's salute the Los Angeles Dodgers, okay? They have clinched a playoff spot. This is 9 years in a row that they are going to the playoffs. But, guys, they're trying to win their 9th consecutive National League West title. They've done it 8 years in a row. And right now, as we're talking on this Thursday morning, the San Francisco Giants have also clinched a playoff spot, and the Giants are still in first place with the best record in baseball, and time is running out on the Dodgers. I'm still happy that they're going to the playoffs. I just don't know if they're going to catch the Giants.
I don't know if they will either to get that. I mean, that is utter domination. So I think even if they didn't, it would be somewhat acceptable because they're still going to the dance, and that's what matters.
That's right. You don't have to be number one necessarily to get in to do well, but as long as the Dodgers are in, that's all they got to do. Chip in a chair, you get in the playoffs, make your run.
It is wild there's that many in a row.
Yeah, you know what? And with that pitching staff, I still feel like the Dodgers have the best pitching staff. And even with Trevor Bauer out of the picture, man, their best 3 or 4 starting pitchers are better than anybody else's. So as long as you get to the playoffs and you get that short, 5 or 7 game series, you're going to be fine. I think the Dodgers are going to be just fine with that pitching staff that they have. But yeah, dude, who would have thought that San Francisco would be, winning the division with the best record in baseball? We all thought, 5 or 6 months ago that the 2 best teams in all of baseball were in the National League West. It just wasn't the Giants. It was the Dodgers and the San Diego Padres. And the Padres have unraveled here in the last month or so. And it looks like, the Giants and Dodgers could be on a collision course to battle each other maybe in the postseason to get to the World Series, which would be unbelievable because they're huge rivals. Can you imagine them playing in the NLCS to get to the World Series? That'd be amazing.
The Dodgers, there's a lot of good signs going on here. It's like you're right. We did lose Bauer there, but Scherzer has been lights out. And then even last night, Kenley Jansen shut the door, struck out the side right away. That's a big thing. Remember, he was getting shelled and going through his heart thing the last couple of years. To have him as a real closer at the perfect time, I think the Dodgers can legit do it again.
Now, I am not a baseball guy at all. And all the talk this year, like Pep was saying, has been the Dodgers and the Padres. So where the hell have the Giants come from? And seemingly quiet because even other baseball people I know are not talking about the Giants.
It's kind of like 9-ball. The Padres did all the work beating up on the Dodgers, and then the Giants just kind of slid in there and said, thanks, man. We'll take the dance from here. Peace out. So the Dodgers fall off, and then here's the Giants out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's that long 162-game season. You can come out of nowhere.
Yeah, even to this day, if you put the Giants roster next to the Padres roster and just ask me who has the better team, I would say San Diego, no doubt. They've got so much more talent. But somehow the Giants, they don't have these necessarily superstars on their team. Just a really good team. And they're obviously they're dangerous because they got the best record in baseball right now. But yeah, if the Dodgers and Giants met in the postseason, then that would be an unbelievable playoff series with so much on the line between these 2 bitter rivals. But yeah, right now, we've got less than 3 weeks now left in the regular season, and the Dodgers are a game and a half behind the Giants. So there's still plenty of time, but I don't see the Giants taking their foot off the gas. I think that's the problem.
No, they're going to meet in the playoffs.
Oh, man, that would be unbelievable. All right, speaking of unbelievable, man, the NFL season's here. We finally made it. Week 1 in the books. Here we go ahead looking at week number 2. 40, I'm going to start with you because my 49ers are playing your Philadelphia Eagles. 2 teams coming off wins. And the Eagles, surprisingly, hammering Atlanta. I think the Eagles are going to be maybe better than we thought.
The first place in our division, Eagles. But yeah, everybody in the West Coast is the best coast because AFC and NFC West teams all undefeated 1-0. Yeah, this is going to kind of be that true. A lot of people are talking about maybe the Eagles are going to be good this year. I've kind of maintained this is not our year, but if we can show up against San Francisco, we might have a shot at something.
I think this will be a close game.
Yeah, and I think we said this on Monday. Beating Atlanta was one thing, but if the Eagles could actually beat the 49ers, who some would consider a Super Bowl contender, right? That would carry a lot more weight if they could do something against the 49ers. The Rams are going to play at the Colts. That's kind of an interesting game. I think the Colts could be, in the long run, a pretty good team, and when it's all said and done, if Carson Wentz can do something out there, with the Colts. But, man, Carson Wentz, who's not necessarily durable, running around from Aaron Donald in that Rams defense. I like the Rams in that one.
Yeah, it kind of sucks for him to have to start against 2 defenses that are going to pound on him.
Right.
Yeah, right. You go from Seattle, and then you go straight to the Rams. I mean, if you're Carson Wentz, you're like, come on, are you serious?
Yeah, tough start.
Hey, 40, you brought up the Raiders, man, or the AFC West and the NFC West going undefeated in that first week, and the Raiders capped it all off on Monday Night Football in that wild overtime game. Now the Raiders have to take their show on the road to Pittsburgh, and the Steelers had one of those signature wins in Week 1, beating the Buffalo Bills, who's another team that everyone's really high on this season. But maybe old Big Ben's got a couple tricks up his sleeve still because they beat Buffalo, and now we're going to see if they're legit because the Raiders look pretty good too.
He's got that surgical repaired elbow there with Big Ben. And, yeah, I think everybody was thinking the Bills were just going to show up and, smash down those Steelers. But, yeah, they came out with a win. A lot of good matchups this week.
Yeah, the Raiders better watch out. It looks like Big Ben and those Steelers can do that Steeler thing where they can just grind it out.
That's what they do, right? I think a lot of people, when they looked at that division in football, they thought, okay, well, Baltimore's better than the Steelers. The Browns are better than the Steelers. The Bengals are on the rise. Like, everyone just kind of forgot about the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they kind of put the league on notice. Dude, we're still around, man. We're still going to be a factor. We're a playoff team. Because remember last year, they fell apart at the end, but they were undefeated, like 12-0 or 13-0 or something like that. Or 11-0. They were so good to start the season, and then the wheels fell off. But Pittsburgh obviously has not gone anywhere. They're still one of the better teams in the NFL.
We'll see if Juju Smith-Schuster can keep himself off of TikTok long enough to keep winning.
Yeah,
I think that was a big part of their downfall last year.
He loves himself some TikTok, right? He's not the only one. A lot of these NFL guys love to get on social media, including TikTok, and sometimes it's not maybe the greatest idea. You're putting bulletin board material out there, just acting like a knucklehead sometimes. So another game I just want to touch on, another local team, the Cowboys are going to play at the Chargers. So the Chargers having their first home game with fans in Los Angeles this weekend. And, the Cowboys pushed the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the limit. They took the loss, but they pushed them to the limit. So I think this Cowboy team's pretty good. And this Chargers team, year in and year out, you always feel like, man, this Chargers team, at least on paper, they're really, really good. But can they get it done this year? Maybe this is the year finally for the LA Chargers. I don't know.
I could see this being a shootout.
Yeah, I want to see the Chargers pull this one off for very selfish reasons. I do not like the Cowboys.
40, I'm right with you because a lot of these games, I don't really care who wins. I just want to see a specific team lose.
Right.
And in this case, I want to see the Cowboys lose. And I know there's a lot of Cowboy fans out here in the IE.
It's fun.
Yeah, so there's my rooting interest is the Chargers, just so I can see them beat the Dallas Cowboys in this case. So.
And then tonight we've got the Giants taking on the football team.
Right.
Just the football team, right? And, and the Giants lost their first game, and the Washington football team is a team that, or a team that most experts would say is going to win that division, the NFC East, no offense to the Philadelphia Eagles and my man 40 here. But, they did last year. But think about it. Their starting quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick, went down, and now that division looks like it's wide open.
People are talking about, will Ron Rivera bring back Cam Newton and go with him again? That's maybe out there. And then tonight they're saying a big announcement at halftime in terms of the football series that we all love, Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of speculation on what's going on with that.
Right. Where and when?
Yeah. What are you guys speculating here for Hard Knocks? What kind of a major announcement could they make during the regular season about a show that's usually, during training camp leading up to the season?
Do you think they'll change the show? I think they're still going to keep that thing before the season because, there's not a lot of football going on. So, people are fiending for football so bad. I see this as a possible addition. I'm seeing maybe they're going to take it into a regular season thing, maybe a weekly thing with a different team every week so you can follow a new team all throughout the year long. With it being with the Giants and the Washington football team, I could see him announcing that, hey, we're going to stick with the Washington football team for the rest of this year until their 90th celebration day when they are going to be announcing their new team name officially then.
Oh, you know what? 40, that's a good one, man. I could get on board with that. Yeah, because I was wondering the same thing. What could it be? But, hey, you should do marketing for the NFL. I think you're on to something.
I did it enough here for years. We're good.
Yeah.
Hey, and finally, guys, USC playing at Washington State. The big game, at least for Patrick. It's the big game, and USC letting go of their head coach, Clay Helton, and Dante Williams will be the interim head coach. But now all the talk is going to be, can USC still salvage the season, and who's going to be the new head coach on a permanent basis?
They got to travel up to the Palouse, Washington State, Martin Stadium.
When last we talked on Monday, that was the thing I was telling you. My USC fans were super disappointed waking up on Sunday morning and finding out that Clay Helton still had a job. A couple days later, they finally got their wish, and he is gone now.
I think it's actually going to be really close. We're really good at being very Seattle-like and just being like, let's give them a little reason to get fired up for their new coach.
We will see. It's going to be interesting. Do they come out flat? Or are they going to come out inspired, to avenge Clay Helton? But now the look is on for the new head coach. Is it going to be Urban Meyer? I saw a graphic on one of these popular sports shows that even Lane Kiffin's name was being kicked around to come back. I'm like, dude, you guys left him at the airport. So I think anyone and everyone might be an option right now for USC.
I mean, they got to bring in somebody who's going to do some recruiting. I've heard people bring up Deion Sanders, Eric Bieniemy coming over back into USC because he said that's one of the only college jobs he would ever take is the USC Trojans. So
I like him.
A very good option. But does he want to leave a high-powered team like Kansas City right now?
Yeah, he could ride that for a long time. He's like, I got Patty Mahomes for the next decade.
Yeah, Eric Bieniemy is deserving, but he's also in a good spot. I don't know how much he makes, but he's at a good spot in Kansas City.
We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Pep, tell them how to get your stuff.
Oh, you can check it out all over Inland Sports social media, the Inland Sports YouTube channel. Check it out. We're talking local football, high school and local college.
Thanks, Pep.